Did you know there's probably a sole reason behind why your organization or business is not getting the engagement, the interest, or the sales that you really need? For the same reason is the reason that your website is probably not as effective as it should be, your social media is not as effective, and any marketing funnels that you've set up in order to attract leads and convert to sales aren't anywhere near as effective as they probably could or should be. And this comes down to your ability to actually identify who your customer is and create a targeted approach towards them. You actually get to choose who you want to work with, but it comes down to how you understand your customer so you can create the messaging and the content that attracts them in order to gain more leads that are targeted and gain more sales because you're actually approaching them and their needs in the right way. I worked with an organization recently that was about 24 months old. They had very little understanding of who their customers were, and they had no real approach to really target a customer in order to get the results they're actually looking for. So what they were doing is basically gambling. They were putting stuff out there and just hoping that it would make an impact rather than being targeted with their marketing approach and understanding who their customers were, how they actually interacted with these customers, and how that was going to be most beneficial to get the customers to purchase their product. Most people, when they hear about creating a persona for their brand, they almost treat it like a business plan. They see it as something that's not too useful, they don't really want to do. And that's usually because they're doing personas incorrectly. I want to show you how to implement a persona correctly so you can actually rely back to it, or you should be relying back to it on a daily basis to help your organization actually grow. I used to ignore personas too for the reason that I wanted to put the products and services that I wanted out there. But what I realized was there was no engagement on these products and services because I wasn't focusing on the customer. I was focusing on what I wanted to sell and how I wanted to sell it. It's only when I started focusing on who my ideal customer was and how I would best attract them that I was able to actually change what I was doing, increase the number of leads that I was actually getting from online sources. So let me show you how I create personas and work with organizations in a way that we're able to be more targeted with our marketing. Firstly, to understand personas, we understand that there are 3 areas that we're going to help our customers in. And this is depending on what our business is. They are either in the health industry, they are either in the wealth industry, or they're with relationships. Our ability to serve someone, come up with an ideal customer and create a persona comes up to our ability to solve a problem and bring someone to a solution in one of these 3 areas. That's how all businesses exist. We are there to solve problems and provide solutions in one of those 3 areas. To do this, what we're really doing is we're actually either taking a customer to increase their status in society and with those around them, or we're helping them better to fit in with the community around them. So this is basically how we need to think about anything that we're doing in terms of for our personas and for our customers. We want to help someone either increase their health, wealth, or their improvement with relationships. We're looking to solve a specific problem or a specific set of problems and bring them towards the solution that they're after. And in order to do this, we're looking to approach it in two ways. We're either looking to increase someone's status within the group that we're talking about, or we're looking to make them fit in better with that group so that they're able to be more welcomed and feel like they're a part of the community. When most organizations talk about some sort of customer persona, it's very limited. It's usually just around their demographics, around their age, around their sex, and it's basically limited to that information. There are 4 categories that I like to implement when developing personas because it gives you a well-rounded view of who your customers are and how to actually reach out and target them because you've written this information down about who that person is and how they're actually acting in the real world. The 4 categories are demographics, psychographics, geographics, and behavioral actions. If we break these down, the demographics are what most people implement into their business, and that is things like age or sex. When we look at psychographics, we're really thinking about the activities that these people are involved in, what they're actually interested in, and what they spend their time doing. This gives us a great picture of not only how to implement that into marketing on how to attract them, but it gives us a great understanding about how they're actually spending their time and where they're spending their time, which will benefit us because then we're actually able to implement terminology that they're familiar with and actually target specific groups or interest-based areas online to make sure that we're hitting our ideal customer because we know they're already interested in those activities or interests, etc. When we're talking about psychographics, we're also talking about things like personality, and values. Are they introverted, extroverted? Do they like going out a lot? Do they like staying at home? Do they like being comfy in their own house? Or do they like experiencing new difficult situations? We're talking about values. We're talking about being able to create messaging which both attracts these ideal customers as well as pushing away other customers, because we're talking about things that they resonate with. When we're talking about a behavioral category, we're really talking about the type of benefits that they're interested in, things that would be appealing towards them and how they act on a daily basis. We're talking about how they're actually interacting in their day-to-day lives. Are they someone that gets up early, or are they someone that likes to sleep in? We're also talking about their general patterns, about how they use technology, how they interact with different components of both other businesses and technology, whether they like buying things online or whether they prefer going into stores after doing their research online. These are all different aspects that we can integrate into our marketing if we better understand our customer. And finally, the fourth category is geographics. We think about this on a local, regional, national, or international stage. This is important because we need to understand the cultural differences. We need to understand the different economic differences between different regions as well as different countries. And we need to understand how to better incorporate this into our marketing and advertising, better understand who these people are. Once we understand all four of these categories, only once we actually understand all four of these categories can we implement each of these into some sort of marketing plan where we're being targeted with how we're actually marketing. If we're not integrating these and we don't understand behaviors, we don't understand user interests and patterns online, we don't understand activities or interests or the values that these people hold dear, how are we supposed to create any sort of messaging on websites or videos or funnels that actually work with how these people like to buy things online? When we incorporate each of these, what we've done is then create a foolproof plan of making sure that we're highly targeted with who we're attracting into our business. We're creating a great plan for how we actually market to them because we understand their values and what will most trigger their need to actually work with us. And we're understanding how then to actually roll that out because we understand how they use technology, how they use their phone, where they like to purchase, when they like to purchase, and from who they want to purchase from. We can then make sure that we're very targeted in our marketing spend by using our understanding of their local, national, regional, and international areas of how these people actually work. At the very basis, what we want to do is we want to start thinking about questions like this around these people, and that will help us give us actual tangible understanding of who they are and what they're actually interested in. Things like, what do they believe in? What do they want? Who do they trust? What is their narrative? What are they actually going to connect with? And what are they going to tell their friends about our business, about their experience with actually operating with us as a business, and whether that was positive or negative? If we can think about all those things and we can think about how they might go out and tell their friends, by understanding answers to questions like this, what we're actually able to do is better increase our understanding of who our customer is so that we're attracting that person. It means there's going to be a lot of people out there that we're not attracting. But that's okay because, as the Americans say, the riches are in the niches, or niches is what they should say. But that basically means that we're going to be very targeted, yes, but we're going to be targeted in a way that the people that are interacting with us are actually purchasers. There's no point having 1,000 leads if very few of them are actually good leads. We want 1,000 leads. We want 1,000 good leads. We want to make sure that we have the best chance possible of converting as many of them into customers as we can, rather than having 1,000 leads and very few of them are actually interested in becoming customers of ours. The real benefit of this is understanding that once we understand who our persona is, we can then go through our messaging. We can then go through our profit ladder. We can go through our content. We can use technology and set up effective funnels that will actually allow us to execute and make money and grow and scale our business. This is what we wanted to begin with. We're getting frustrated by the lack of interest and lack of engagement. Only once we've understood the very first step of what I like to call the value chain framework, which is the personas and the people that we're actually out there to serve, can we actually work our way through in an effective manner and get to the final stage of executing effectively. As you can see here, this is actually my online strategy program for implementing a strategy into your business. It's a series of videos and interactive templates that you can use to set up each of these elements into your business and make sure that you're being highly targeted, great with your messaging, you're able to leverage technology in a great way and make customers as profitable as possible, and then create content that is actually attracting them into your funnels so you can actually make money. If you're interested in learning more about the value chain framework or interested in really learning about different marketing strategies for your business, just hop on my website at adambarbaro.com.